Joyfully Empowered is about feeling connected, inspired, and uplifted by everything around you. This is a place where dreams are possible, cups are half full, and community is solid. Topics include spirituality, leadership, wealth, intuition, manifestation, and our sacred work. This is where happy-go-luckies come to refill their je ne sais quoi to continue spreading a little magic to the world. Welcome to Joyfully Empowered, my friends. My name is Stephanie Verschow. As you all know, we're going to get into it. The conversation today was inspired and based on a few different conversations that I've had this past week on burning out, right? And burning out is something that both feels like everybody's talking about it, and yet something that we kind of like dilute it from that sense, but it's something that when you experience or you've experienced it, or in my case, I've had clients that are going through it, it is tough. It is difficult. I used to think probably 15 years ago, burning out was just crying in the bathroom or, quitting your job or like starting a business because there's nothing else in this world. But at the core of burnout, in my experience, what I have experienced, what I do with my clients, it's really like removing and not having joy in your life and the actions and the things that you need to do, right? When it's like decisions are feeling heavy, brushing your teeth is feeling heavy, like things just feel heavy. If you're watching this on video and you're like, Steph, why can you move? My neck, it is so tight right now. I went to a chiropractor earlier. He's amazing. If you need a chiropractor in New York City, reach out. I am happy to recommend you to my chiropractor. He's so good. But when I went to see him today, he's like, oh yeah, you are tight. And the thing is, like, you can't bully your muscles and your bones to get out of tightness. But what he did was so helpful. But I woke up so tight that I think it's gonna take a couple days. So anyways, if you're watching on screen and I'm like moving funny, I will be okay. This happens to me every few months. I do think I am holding a lot of pressure and a lot of tension. And even though I am mobile, I work out, I am healthy, I'm flexible, like sometimes your little bones and your little muscles just tighten up. Anyways, the sneaky thing about workout is that, or not workout, burnout, is that it doesn't happen all at once. It's kind of like my back, little by little, day by day, it creeps in. And in the case of burnout, it's creeping in as like ambition and perfectionism and high performing. But little by little, you are using up all of the gas in your tank and you are not refilling it. So, as I was doing a little bit of research for this episode and even in conversations with my clients, burnout is now being labeled or called like the silent epidemic of high performers. I also found out two interesting statistics. According to the World Health Organization, burnout is classified as an occupational phenomenon. Can you imagine, right? Burnout is a full body energy depletion that impacts your focus, creativity, and even your hormones and the way you are thinking and performing. A 2024 Deloitte survey found out that 77% of professionals have experienced burnout, and over 50% of them don't even realize they already are deep in it. When I experienced burnout in my career, probably like 12 years ago, it came about rashes. Like, I was working, the 12, 16-hour days and nonstop. And I remember I went on a vacation to visit my father-in-law in the Virgin Islands. And like a day or 2 days, probably 2 days in, my whole body broke out in rashes. And I'm like, what in the actual is going on? And I'm like taking pictures, sending it to my cousin who is a doctor. And he's like, yeah, those are stress rashes. And he's like, it makes sense that it's like the first time that you're out of the stress environment, your body's just gonna like break out because it's releasing all the tension. And then the second one, which is when I realized that I was going to quit my job and open up a coaching business, every single aspect of joy was completely gone out of my life. Like I was performing, high performing in a very burnout stage. And I had no idea until I woke up like bawling my eyes out and being like, how in the hell did I get here? I need to create a new reality, right? And that's when I hired a coach and discovered there was nothing joyful in my life. And little by little, I started repairing, but it was definitely full out blown. So the thing is, for women, especially in leaderships, the number is even higher on the that 77% and the 50% because we end up normalizing as like we're fine. We can handle it, we're fine, and then we're end up drinking a bottle of wine bottle a night, or we're disassociating with social media, or we are just keeping ourselves busy with like a million other different things. And that's why it becomes so dangerous because burnout is not always looking like collapse, like Lindsay Lohan, I don't know, in the early 2000s. Like, I'm like collapsing of exhaustion. I need to go to the hospital. Like, sometimes we end up performing, quote unquote, performing, burned out for years. Like, your nervous system is screaming. You need to rest. You need to take time off. You need to breathe. It's like, nope, I need to keep on going? So, burnout is common, burnout is quiet. How do we catch it? How do we deal with it? How do we manage it? And that's where I want to talk today to you about is rituals, right? Rituals aren't just necessarily about morning routines or lighting candles. We love all those things, but I want to have specific rituals that you can do that they're like your reconnection points. They're teaching your body and your mind how to come back to harmony, right? How to support yourself before you crash. Because in those moments when you've crashed, I don't want to say it's too late because I'm still a firm believer that even if in our lowest points, there's still an opportunity to grow, to learn, to evolve, to change, to transform. But sometimes it doesn't have to be so damn harsh, right? It doesn't have to be like crashing down. It can just be like a little tap in your shoulders, right? So I want to share with you 5 rituals today that hopefully you haven't heard before, but if you have, you can still incorporate them. The science, the energetic behind rituals is that when you have a ritual that's very specific with a specific intention behind it, you're doing it, it's actually been proven that they lower our cortisol, which is all of our stress hormones. They create predictability and predictable moments of calm that helps your brain and your body shift from survival to I am regulated, I am thriving, right? They almost become like pattern interrupters, right? That turns off like the mental chatter that keeps you on all the time. And neuroscientists actually call this the ritual effect, which are small intentional actions that are signaling safety to your body, and they're marking a reconnection point, a transition point between like your outer world and your inner world. Okay. So if you have a pen and paper, or if you want to listen to it now, remember the ones you want to play. You don't have to do them all. Maybe there's one or two that resonate. Maybe they all resonate. Just start with one, start with two, right? Keeping it simple, but stay consistent with these rituals. So the first ritual is what I'm calling like the anchoring and expanding in under 60 seconds, right? So usually you're thinking about rituals to do before things, right? But we're going to start with one that we are doing after. You had a high stake meeting, you had a really important call, you were launching something to your clients. So after this meeting, this conversation, this call, I want you to spend 60 seconds doing this because at that point, your energy was high. There's probably a million things to do after, and you keep on going with that adrenaline. But you want to have a minute to anchor and then expand to give you that momentum to take action in everything that has to be done, usually after these high stakes meetings, right? So for the anchoring, you're going to place your hand on your chest, on your heart. If you're comfortable, gently close your eyes. Otherwise, just find a place to gently gaze and tell yourself, I am grounded, I am safe. I am grounded, I am safe. And then I'll tell you the part two in a second. If you're a high performer, you always want to go for the next big, huge thing, right? And even though, yes, you're capable, yes, you've done it before, it can still feel a little intimidating, like this is my first time doing this. This is my first time working with this client. So when you're telling yourself, I am grounded and I am safe in what happened in that meeting, in that conversation, in that presentation, it's like, it's big. I probably have never done it before, but I am safe. I can do this. Then if you're watching the video, you can see me. You can like open up your arms wide, right? Wide out. And while you exhale, say, my actions are empowered by presence or intention. Presence and intention. My actions are empowered by presence and intention. You can interchange those with like calmness or intuition or whatever word feel good to you. But in the exhale, it feels good. I'm yawning. Excuse me. And you open up your arms wide and you're saying that, you're telling yourself the actions I'm going to take, they're not going to break me. They're not going to be too much for me. My actions are empowered by presence and intention, right? This is confirming that body movement and intention are going to help you reset your nervous system, right? Especially after you had an intense and high stakes phone call, workshop, facilitation. Now, for ritual number two, it's what I'm calling the touch point transition, right? This is so importante, muy importante para los que estén escuchando, for all of you listening. This is an object, right? It could be a crystal, a mug, a scarf, a ring that you're going to touch and twirled around, right? This is when you're transitioning between work and home. Okay, this is a good one. This is a juicy one. I am very like most likely at work, maybe less now, but definitely in the past and sometimes now too. I'm definitely like masculine energy, right? Like if I'm at work, especially on the admin heavy days, maybe not so much on the coaching, but on the admin heavy days when I'm creating, I can be masculine, like I'm taking charge, there's structure, it is linear, there is a path, we are focused, we are tunnel vision, we're going to make it we're going to make it happen, right? When you're transitioning to your home, you want to be gentle. You want to go from like going to being. Oh my God, if I get the hiccups right now, that would be kind of funny and not. Okay, so you want to have a crystal, a mug, and scarf that's transitioning from the doing mode to the being mode, from high focus to rest, from work to home, right? From like, I'm gonna go, go, go to I get to relax and enjoy my environment, right? So when you are in the car on the way there, on the way to your house, when you are leaving work to go home on the bus or you're walking, you want to hold the scarf, the crystal, whatever the thing is important to you, and gently tell yourself, I release high tension, I welcome flow. You want to welcome flow all the time and you want to release high tension all the time. But most likely, when you are at work, you are tense, you are performing, you are in go go mode. When you get home, even when I get home now, like I'm still go go going because I have a daughter, there's dinner, there's bath, and like my husband and I are doing all these things together. But it's a different energy that I want to bring into my house, right? So if you don't have an object, you can also create like a symbol in your head, of like a cloud or the beach, right? So when you're walking home, driving home, you're imagining this and like the symbol, and this is like your cue to reset to say, okay, I'm going from doing to being. It's a good one. The next one is, this is so good. It's like future self. Okay, so I want you to start once a week, then it can be every other day, maybe it can be daily, where you're going to record a voice note to your future self, starting now, right? Where you're stepping into your highest version of leadership, of feminine power, of wealth, right? So you're telling yourself, like, you are a high performer that's still enjoying life. You are performing, you are creating results, but you are enjoying the process, right? You're resting, you're laughing, you're enjoying life. After, and you can just riff, right? A year from now, 6 months from now, what is your higher self that is fully regulated and connected telling yourself today? You record it on your voice note, and then you listen to it immediately after, right? This is what's going to help you hear yourself and reprogram yourself that you can be a person that works many hours, but that still has a great time at home. You can be a person that's handling high stake deals and you can still relax yourself through those negotiations. Okay. That's what I want you to practice. Now, the number next, we have two more to go, is a sacred pause. I I've told this story so many times. I don't know if I've said it here before, but in the past, I used to walk fast everywhere, no matter what. It was like ingrained in my feet, in my DNA, and it was just fast go all the time. And I remember I came to a point in my life, this was maybe like 10 years ago, before starting my business, that I'm like, I don't have to be in a rush every single day all the time. Like, enjoy and smell the roses. So for maybe like a month, I did this like little test where I would wear heels everywhere I went. And heels forces you to slow down, right? So it's like if I'm wearing heels, I cannot walk as fast as I could if I'm wearing flats. And it was really nice because sometimes I would be like, oh my God, like I really want to go faster. And it's like, no, you take your time and you get to where you want to get. So for you, this little sacred pause is, what are the pockets in your day where instead of rushing, which is adding to depletion and like never stopping, you can slow down by like 50%, right? So it's like going to the bathroom. You need to rush there, rush back, getting a coffee, rush there, rush back, going to lunch. It's like some days, maybe if you're in a rush, but ideally, no, we slow down by 50%. I am like actively practicing this in my life because I take the bus to come to the office and I love the bus. I'm like such a bus girly, especially coming with my daughter because I don't have to carry the car seat and all the things. If I'm by myself, I'm probably going to take a taxi or an Uber. But if I'm going everywhere in the city with Dylan Joy, we have the stroller. And, anyways, when I leave my house, the bus is like down the street. And every morning, I'm like, if I see the bus coming around the corner, I will not run because like almost every morning we see the bus coming around the corner. We're running down the street, that crazy people. She's like, Mama, you're going too fast. And then I have to pick her up. I get to the bus and I'm like out of breath. And, anyways, but I'm like, there's a bus that comes every 7 minutes. You know, if I miss one, I got to wait probably 6 minutes by the time I get to the stop and it will come. So I've been actively practicing, like we can see the bus coming down the corner and I don't have to run like a maniac for a block and a half. So for you, what are your sacred pauses? You know, even this works for the shower. Like sometimes I'm taking a shower and I'm like rushing through the soap and the shaving and the shampoo, and it's like, just chill for a minute, enjoy what you're doing. So where can you reduce your rushness and slow your pace by 50%, right? What are the times you're like, on my way home, I'm going to walk a little slower. When I get lunch, I'm going to slow down. What are those things that you really allow yourself to be intentional with your walk? And then the last one is the energetic check-in, right? Ideally, the last 5 minutes of your day, I want you to answer these two questions. Where did I give energy today and I felt aligned, I felt empowered, I felt revitalized? And where did I give energy today and I felt drained? Right? So you want to start being mindful of, if I have 5 calls in a row, I am completely drained, even if it's noon and I need to go home. But if I have 2 calls in a row, I'm revitalized because I love talking to people and I can schedule another 2 calls later or whatever, right? When I have conversation with this person, my energy is drained. When I have conversations with this person, my energy is aligned. Doesn't mean that you're never going to talk to this person, but you'll probably talk to the person that drains you in the morning after coffee where you're full of energy instead of like a 4 o'clock when you want to go home. right? You want to have a reflection and a boundary that you do at the end of the day. So you're able to understand your days better, your energy better, and how you're showing up for yourself, right? All of this is so important because women that are in leadership and that are using rituals and really being intentional, it's not just about preventing the burnout, but it's about creating a ripple effect, right? Because the more you're clear and energized, the more you're going to improve how you communicate with your team, the more you're going to improve your intention and how you're showing up, the more you're going to improve like collaboration, right? And you're doing things that amplify your impact versus doing things that are constantly taken away. So if you're feeling off, it's not because you're broken, right? It's not because you messed up. It's not a failure, it's feedback. If you're feeling off, if you're feeling disconnected, it is feedback to say, maybe I'm going down this burnout route, right? What of these rituals that I learned today can I start doing and coming back to my body? So I want you to choose one reset, and a ritual, right? To be able to implement it this week and see how you begin to feel, right? If you want to go deeper into this work, I invite you to fill out the form that I'm going to leave below in the show notes. And let's have a conversation to see if private coaching is for you. I've been doing this so much with my clients lately, and this is just like a theme that's been top of mind, right? So let's have a conversation together. Let's see if coaching is right for you. And I would love to connect and talk to you and get to know you better. If you know somebody that would love this episode and really needs to hear it, please forward it along, pass it along, leave a review. Those are super important so more and more people get to know Joyfully Empowered and get to listen to it. Thank you so much for being here today. I appreciate you. I hope this was super helpful. Let me know which ritual you're going to start with. And as always, follow your joy. Thank you, my friends. I will see you next week in Joyfully Empowered.